Welcome to Going Down the Line. I'm Steven from Virginia, and that's Chase Gilmer, and we're here to talk Baylor football this week.
Yes, let's do it. Coming off a bye week.
Yeah, the Baylor Bears are going to be playing TCU this weekend. Chase, what are your expectations for the game this weekend?
Man, I'm a little conflicted about this game because on the one hand, we have two teams that are coming off different directions. Baylor's coming off a two-game win streak, also as well as a bye week. TCU had just lost to Kansas State on the road, and TCU doesn't necessarily look as good, uh, especially defensively, as they have been that we've been accustomed to in years past. But at the same time, this is still TCU we're talking about. This is still the same football team that has beaten Baylor 8 out of the last 10 matchups. So ever since, the 61-58 game, there's been 10 matchups since, and they've basically had our number since. I do think, at least for now, Baylor is the better team. But there have been many, many times where Baylor was the better team, and yet they still lost to TCU.
Yeah, and definitely feel like TCU isn't coming off much momentum after getting beat by Kansas State, and Baylor's coming off some momentum off the bye week. Hopefully rested up and feeling healthy.
Yeah, that's for sure. There are other factors that make me a little bit nervous about this game, with it being on the road. It's homecoming for TCU, which for them to do it for a rivalry game is just, it's kind of funny to think about. But at the same time, I really won't be surprised either way who wins. It just really depends on which version of Baylor's defense shows up. Um, TCU's offensive line is really not that good this year. And in fact, they lost their starting, I think he was their left guard um, last week, and he was their best offensive lineman for an offense that already struggles completely with the run game. So if we are able to contain the run game, I think that would put a lot more pressure on Josh Hoover to be perfect. So I'm really just looking to how we go against the run.
Also looking to see if the offense can control the turnovers, and if the defense can force some turnovers. We certainly lost the turnover battle most weeks, and that certainly becomes a real issue when you're trying to beat teams that you're just as good as or that are maybe even better than you are.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And thankfully, that really hasn't hindered us a lot so far this season. I mean, it did against Auburn, it did against Arizona State, obviously, but the other four games, it really hasn't been um, a crushing blow to us for those games. That's for sure. Um, I also kind of expect us to get at the quarterback a little bit. I mean, the thing I find very interesting is that Baylor is middle of the pack in the Big 12 in quarterback pressures, but they're dead last in sacks. So in maybe the bye week kind of helps with getting that taken care of, but at the same time, like it shows that we're doing a good job putting that pressure on. We just can't finish those plays.
Right, and it definitely feels that way when you're talking about being last in the Big 12 in sacks. That definitely feels that does not surprise me at all. We have not gotten the quarterback down enough this year.
Yeah, and it's hard to sack the quarterback, that's for sure, especially with mobile quarterbacks like Jackson Arnold, um, you know, Avery Johnson. I, I those are the two that I could think of on the top of my head, but those are for sure like mobile quarterbacks. Obviously, Jackson Arnold isn't much of a passer as Avery Johnson is, but I mean, they can still burn you with their legs. And then as for the offense, um, like I said, TCU's defense is not as good as they have been in seasons past. I'm expecting Sorry Robertson to continue his success with the passing game. Maybe hopefully use his legs a little bit more. He did use it against Kansas State just a tiny bit, but um, really, it as long as we can play complementary football. If our run game goes well, then our pass game is going to be even better. If our defense, can contain Josh Hoover, then I think this could be a easy win for us.
I'd really like to see that. Baylor also didn't get a lot of. It felt like Sam Levitt and Kevin Jennings didn't get sacked at all in those games that we played against them either. Sam Levitt will be playing this week for Arizona State. I just saw that. But Baylor really needs to get the quarterback down and really needs to create some turnovers and really needs to, create some explosive plays on offense as well.
Yeah, that's true. One thing that I found very interesting, I can't remember when the last time this happened, but every single game that Baylor has won in this rivalry since I think it was 1994, it said every single game that Baylor has beaten TCU since then has been a one possession game. So it's very interesting because you look at the games where TCU beat us, and it's very very lopsided. Whereas us Baylor fans, when we win, we're going in having a heart attack. So yeah, I'm hoping this time we can finally beat TCU if we win. Obviously, I'm hoping it's by 2 scores. But that's obviously wait and see.
Right, and these games have certainly been very close matchups over the years, and I expect it to be a very close matchup again, to be honest.
Yeah. So Sikkim 365 actually had a very interesting question, or they brought up something today that I thought was very interesting. They brought up like the last like 6 games that Baylor's played at TCU, and I have to ask, out of those 6, which one would you say is the most frustrating game? I think I know what your answer is, but I want to hear it.
Probably 2021.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I mean, 2015 was frustrating as well.
Oh
But
yeah.
I mean, 2020, I think 21 takes over due to the implications that I had for our season. And I mean, I guess the 2015 one did as well, but I felt like the 21 was even more of like, because we were favored in that game. We unlike 2015, it was a perfect sunny day. I mean, albeit it was a little cold because it was in November, but still, like we went into that game very much favored, and we literally and figuratively speaking dropped the ball.
Yeah, 2015 was a really frustrating game to watch. I think 2021 was frustrating due to the outcome. If memory serves, we were driving down the field with a chance to go ahead, and Gary Bohannon threw an interception.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, 20 when you bring up 2015, that was not a fun football game to watch.
I was actually at that game, and I tell you, it was even worse seeing it live than it was on TV, especially seeing their fans rush the field after
Oh
after the
god.
double overtime loss. But yeah, I mean, they brought up a very compelling point. I mean, there's been a lot of very frustrating losses for us in recent memory, that have basically, I don't want to say necessarily derailed our season, but like given the implications, it very much did. Because I mean, if we wouldn't have lost to TCU in 21, we would have made the college football playoffs. If we didn't lose to TCU in 2015, maybe there was a chance we could slide into the college football playoffs. Now, it would have probably been hard because Oklahoma beat us, but still, we had a chance. And yeah, um, but I mean, that's obviously all in the past. I mean, what matters is what happens on Saturday. Um, so hopefully we can come out with the win.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to say before we go to picks of the week?
Uh, I mean, I guess really the one thing I will say is that with this being halfway through the season, because obviously we talk about halfway through the season, this team is what it is. But we saw with last season how things could change like that. Um, I'm just hoping like this team finds kind of the same 2024 magic in the second half for this season. Now, obviously, they got a lot of stuff to clean up on defense. But what better way to do that than against your biggest rival?
Right. And after the bye week last year, they really turned it around. So
Yeah,
hopefully they can do the same this year.
yeah. Hopefully that happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Are we ready to do picks of the week?
Yeah, yeah, let's go. So the first one we're going to pick is number 10 LSU at number 17 Vanderbilt. Man, it's still weird to say a ranked Vanderbilt. But they kick off at noon on ABC, and Vanderbilt is favored by 2.5 points. Steven, who do you got?
Give me Vanderbilt. I don't like the vibes around LSU right now.
You know what? I'm actually going to pick Vanderbilt in this one as well. I was really 50-50 on this. But I'm going to take Vandy with it being a home game and with them being favored by 2.5 points. I mean, that's essentially, a half-point favorite, neutral site. So give me the Commodores.
All right.
All right. So the next one we're going to pick is, if my memory is correct. Oh, yes. So number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia. That is 3:30 kickoff on ABC. And college game day is going to be there, which I gotta say, kind of boring, but I understand. Um, I'm picking the Bulldogs in this one. I think Ole Miss is overrated, especially given what happened last week. So give me the fighting Kirby Smarts.
I'll take Georgia too.
All right.
Big game for Georgia. Big game at home. I like the home team.
All right, awesome. Now, next game we're picking is number 7 Texas Tech at Arizona State. 4 p.m. kickoff on Fox, and Tech is favored by 7.5 points. Steven, who do you got in that one?
Give me Arizona State in the upset with Sam Levitt coming back to play. This might be the only game that Texas Tech loses all year, but give me Arizona State.
I actually did not know, 'cause I wasn't sure if Sam Levitt was going to come back for this game, but now that we know he is, I'm also going to pick the upset in this one. With all due respect to Texas Tech, I think what they're doing is amazing, as much as I hate to admit. Um, Arizona State's a hard place to play at, especially given when they're fully healthy. Especially when their quarterback's playing. They're a hard team. They're a hard team to take out. So I'm taking the Sun Devils in this one, and I'm actually going to take the points as well. So I'm going to say they win by 10.
All right.
Okay, so next one we have is number 20 USC at number 13 Notre Dame. That is a 7:30 Eastern kickoff on both NBC and Peacock. Notre Dame is favored by 9.5 points. Oh, this is a really tough one. I'm gonna pick actually USC in this one. I think they're clicking at the right time. I'm not necessarily too sold on Notre Dame just yet, but if I'm wrong in this one, I'll start taking them seriously. So I'm taking the Trojans.
I'm going to take Notre Dame. I feel like Notre Dame can't lose another game if they want to go to the college football playoff. Their backs against the wall. Give me the Fighting Irish. Give me Notre Dame.
I forgot one thing. With Penn State's head coaching job being open and Freeman's name's been brought up, I wonder if that's going to distract them at all.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see for sure. All right. So last game we're gonna pick is your Baylor Bears at TCU. It is a noon kickoff time on ESPN2. TCU is favored by 2.5 points. Steven, who do you got?
Give me Baylor 37-34 over TCU.
man. Oh man. So I picked TCU to beat us early, like at the start. I think I might have to stick with that, unfortunately, at least for now. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. Only because TCU's always had our number, or not always, but they've had our numbers a lot for the past 10 years. And with this being homecoming for them, and with this being a game on the road, uh, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think TCU is going to win this one. I'm going to say it's going to be another like 33-30 game, though.
All right. Well, hopefully the Bears win Saturday. That'll
Yeah,
be a big game.
again, I hope I'm wrong, but just I've I've got PTSD for sure against TCU. So
All right. Well, that was another episode of Going Down the Line. We're going to say sick 'em Bears and later, guys.
all right,
Sick 'em
sick of
Bears.
Bears. See y'all next
Later,
week.
guys.